Hi everyone, I'm Apollonia Ponti, your dating and relationship coach, founder of ApolloniaPonti.com, and I'm so happy you're here. If this is your first time visiting, I welcome you. I am your dating coach for you men to boost your attraction skills and gain the confidence that you need in your dating lives or in your relationship. And in today's video, we are going to talk about a pretty real subject, the difference between lust and love. Now, the reason why it's a pretty hot topic is because of the fact that it's happening so much in our day and age. Is we lust because of the fact that we don't know either how to love, or we get misconstrued about what lust and love is and the difference between it. So I'm going to break this down, and it's going to get pretty deep and it's going to get pretty real. And this comes from years and years and years of my experience with growing into a woman, and then also my experience with dating men, my experience with coaching men for years. I've coached thousands of men in the 10 years that I've been in business. Now, one of the biggest things that I want to mention before we get started is lust is the ultimate desire to be loved. Remember that. Let me say that again. Lust is the ultimate desire to be loved. Now, lust comes in many type of forms when it comes into dating, and possibly sometimes even in a relationship, like those toxic relationships, in hopes to have love. And I'm going to break that down as we go further along in this video. Now, what lust is lust is something that you personally have lust over someone's physical attraction. The lust of what a make-believe reality of a relationship could be. So I say too in some of my videos, if you are a new viewer, I encourage you to watch some of those videos, but if you're not, you know that I talk about how people put others on a pedestal before they put themselves on a pedestal. And I want to try to break this down as simple as possible so you viewers can understand, because at the end of the day, you know that I want you to have that healthy love life and be happy with yourself and in love. That's the reason why I do these videos and what keeps me going every single day. So with that said, I say the pedestal often because of the fact that a lot of us lack putting ourselves on the pedestal because of the fact that we don't know how to love ourselves. We don't know how to love ourselves sometimes because, one, it was never taught to us when we were a child, or two, maybe it was taught to us when we were a child, but then we took on some bad behaviors as we grew up, like drugs, addiction, sex, whatever it is, addictions to anything, or something happened to you. You were a victim at a young age to something that has happened, and your idea of love has suffered, and between has turned into lust. I won't go into mechanically how the brain works when it comes to that, but there's a specific part in your brain of where we have our trust and our decision making, and I talk a lot about this, and I self-diagnose a lot of my clients in our coaching sessions about this. And when something has impacted you in your life where it has been challenging and you have been a victim in something in your life, our decision making and our trust aspects of our brain are hindered at some point and another, and it's up to us for us to clear those out. So the reason why I talk about this because this attaches to a lot of lust, because you are seeking validation from someone else to be loved. And this happens a lot in lusting relationships. Okay, and now physical attraction can be the barrier of lust, where you're like, and I'm sure you've probably been here before, where you have been in a relationship and you're like, I've never felt this way before. I've never had this feeling before. This woman has never given me this feeling. Or if I talk to a lot of men on my channel, but if you're a woman viewing, then a man has never given me this feeling. Same thing, right? You're so attached to the feeling and the physical aspect of what this person is bringing to your life that you forget intentionally and unintentionally to pay attention to what they can offer from here. What are they offering to you, and what are their behaviors that they're having with you? So what are their behaviors that they have with you? And this is what we lose sight of. How is this woman reciprocating with you? Are you just intentionally physically attracted to her? So I'm going to give you 3 reasons of why lusting relationships are so powerful and we get it confused about love. And I've kind of already talked about reason number 1. You're more focused on your desired outcome and the physical appearance and not the actual person in front of you. You are motivated by the feeling that this person is giving you. Now, I'm not trying to say that you're not motivated from a feeling when you're in love, because that does drive feelings, and you're motivated because you're going towards love and you love this person, but there's a healthy balance between this. And it's just not always to do with physical attraction. Reason number 2 is there can be a strong desire to have sex, but no emotional conversations when it comes to lust. Now, I want to be clear about this because I've seen a lot of relationships that have been lusting relationships have emotional conversations. Okay, here is the thing that I've not seen anybody say before, and this is the real freaking deal. So this is the video you need to be watching. Usually, lusting relationships form when there's a lack of something in your life. So if there's a lack of connection with another woman, and this woman is showing up and connecting to you emotionally because of the fact that this is what she needs in her life, she needs that emotional connection, as do you, then this can form into a lusting relationship as well. But let me explain the difference, because I know emotional connections form a lot in love as well. But with an emotional connection, when it comes to lust, you have to look into the actions of why this person makes you feel like this, right? So the sex can be out of this world crazy. The sex can be all you think about, and then the emotional connection comes into play. But I'm going to be very clear about this here. When there's an emotional connection in a lusting relationship, typically there is a reason behind the emotional connection. Maybe that person is still married. Maybe that person has another partner. Maybe that person is an addict. Maybe that doesn't help happen in healthy relationships. So if you have that emotional connection with somebody, and you know, like, let's just say she's a girl that's just having fun right now, but she wants to have that emotional connection but doesn't want to tie herself down, there's a reason behind this, and you're ignoring that, but you're showing up emotionally because you're giving that person what they need. Reason number 3 is you're not friends, you're just lovers. So even though, like I said in tip number 2 about the emotional connection, how can you be yourself around this person? Typically in lusting relationships, you can't 100% completely be yourself. So like number 2, either there's a problem, there's a dilemma that's holding you back up from falling from the actual love because maybe this person has another relationship or whatever. But number 3 also can be another reason of you just can't be yourself around this person. You can't be honest, you can't be yourself, you can't show who you really are because you have a fear inside. Your intuition is telling you that this person really won't like me if I show up completely 100% as me. And when that happens, it turns into a lusting relationship because they're dating the idea of what you think is you and vice versa. So you're dating the idea. Now let's talk about the difference now with love. So after this, typically either in a lusting or a loving relationship comes attraction. Now, attraction is built by thinking of that person when you're away and getting your dopamine levels triggered in your mind to think about this person. And this is what builds attraction. And because in lust, there's still, can I have this person? There's still the what if in the relationship, which causes a lot of lust because of the fact that there's something that is holding you back. And you always, as humans, we want something more when we can't have it. We desire something more typically when we can't have it. Now, let me explain what attraction does in these relationships with lust and love. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to go into the love. I'm going to get into the love aspect of it as we combine everything. I just want to give you the insides of attraction. Now, what attraction does, both female and male, it doesn't matter. I'm going to get a little bit more logical and factual with you. Now, attraction is when we spend hours of the day either daydreaming about them or thinking about them, or we're getting excited and we're happier because of them, because the thought of them. Attraction is that feeling that you get when you really want something, or when you have those butterflies, or whatever that means to you. Now, what happens here is our neurohormones play a really certain role, in a particular role when it comes to attraction. It influences our dopamine in our brain, and it also influences the serotonin levels in our brain. So that's what brings us happiness in the attraction. So then if you're in a relationship, in a lusting relationship, even if it's not probably the healthiest desired outcome and you're just physical, or the reason 2 or the reason 3, it's hard to distinguish the two because of the serotonin levels that physically your mind, your brain, and the dopamine that your brain is being fed makes you consciously think that this is the person for you. Because of the fact that your happiness is here, because this is what's being kicked, and your trust and your decision making in your brain are on the same levels, they're attached. And this is what influences this decision. So that's why it's really clear and really powerful that I do a video about this, because I know it helps when it comes to clarity about what lust and love is. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this video is pretty freaking real and intense. And this is something that people pay dollars for to hear, and I'm giving it to you for free. So now let's go into deep love, and then when it comes to attraction. Now, deep love and attraction are completely they are similar, but it's important that you understand how to disproportion lust and love and be able to diagnose your relationships, because if you are someone who falls into lust with people easily, it typically happens right away, and it's not built. And when you fall in love with someone, it's built over time, and the love continues to go deeper and deeper and deeper, and then it becomes a feeling that you've never felt before. Now, I want to be clear now. I'm not, for those of you that have found love and you're like, I found my partner and I knew he was the one instantly. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, it happened to me. I knew who was the one instantly, but I wasn't lusting over him like I was in my other relationships. I didn't feel like it was somebody that I needed. It wasn't a physical, it was a physical, but also a mental attraction. It was something out of this world that I've never experienced before. And lust, we can say it's out of this world, but it's more of the physical presence of the picture, the visual aspect of what we've implanted in our mind of what we think this relationship can be, and it's not the actual reality. Remember that. So I want to give you signs of true romantic love so you can kind of see the difference here. True romantic love has no pressure, right? It has no pressure on what do I need from this person? What do I want from this person? Because of the fact that you take your time to get to know each other. Yeah, probably the attraction's there instantaneously the first day and you're like, this is the one, I know it because of, so-and-so reason. I'm not disqualifying that because of the fact that it has happened, but it has to be for legitimate, healthy reasons. Now, also too, we look at like possessiveness as such a negative aspect in relationships, but I want to make possessiveness a little bit positive in this video. Now, what I mean by this is a healthy way of your desire for one person in a deep love. Like you only want that one person. You only want her and you're okay. And the same feeling is mutual, because in a lusting relationship, the same feeling is not mutual. And I'm not saying that it can't be in the future, but there shows that there needs to be work done on that other side or on your side, whatever it is that's not reciprocating or whoever's not reciprocating. Then the next sign is you're honestly listening for each other's feelings. You're honestly listening. Your honesty is the plateau of the relationship because you are who you desire to be in front of them, which is your own being. So meaning you're your own person. You're real with them. You 100% show up for you because that person doesn't place boundaries on, I should be this particular person. This person gives you a feeling that I am okay with me. And the next topic would be the next tip on love is there's no barriers. There's nothing that you have to do to be together, right? So I say this because there's so many relationships out there, and I'm not saying that, there's so many relationships out there that I got to choose my words wisely here, that a lot of people end up falling for someone else when they're married. And the biggest problem behind this is I can bring in my religious beliefs behind this, but I don't do that because of the fact that I impact so many viewers all over the country. And I only hope that you believe in at least yourself. And that's my true intentions. But at the end of the day, when something happens like this, is because that is one that can be a barrier, or two can be, someone's trying to find themselves, or three can be another barrier if they have an addiction problem, or four can be another barrier that they don't love themselves. But the one similar thing that comes to my mind when it comes to these barriers is the person that you're dealing with had never got good at being alone, loving themselves, dating themselves, falling in love with who they really are. And I say this because this is the true meaning behind why love has been so toxic in our day and age, is because people don't know how to truly show up for themselves and love themselves without another person. And when they try to cultivate a healthy relationship, they don't find love. And when they do find the desire, the actual non-reality of love, they think that that's enough and that's sufficient. But then as the relationship continues, problems arise because they never healed themselves and never got good at being alone. That's why there's so many broken marriages. That's why the divorce rate is so high in our day and age. But I'm going off topic, but the reason why I say this is because it's so important that you start love with clear barriers, not barriers with, and when I say clear barriers, let me describe, not barriers at all. So meaning invisible barriers, nothing there, no barriers. And knowing that your intentions are true. So if there is barriers in the relationship and you feel like this person can be someone that you can love in the future, then have them cross their own barriers first and then come back to you, because love is love. If someone loves you, they're going to try to challenge you and come back to you. Have faith in that. We're so mechanically used to making things happen for us, making this happen for us, because everything is the click of a finger for us in our life these days. But you have to understand that the truest when it comes to life is when you start showing up for life and not having and being okay with not knowing what the future brings. This is the best thing that you can do for yourself and is the healthiest also as well. But let's be honest, it's the hardest too, right? So another thing I want to give you before we end this video, I know it's a really long-winded video, but this is a topic that can't be short. I have to be able to give you viewers the real aspects of it, because I want to break this down and simplify this for you. So the next tip when it comes to love is this person will motivate you to become a better person. So not only are you honest with yourself and who you truly are, but this person motivates you to become a better person. And on top of that, doesn't play off your lacks. So they want you to be that better person, if it even means like spending 2 weeks away from each other so you can go pursue your dream. And doing that, they motivate you to do those things because there's no barriers, there's no lack in the relationship. And this is what the true meaning of love is. And also this comes down to family, friends. They take the time to really know who your family is, who your friends are. And this is really, really important when it comes to love. So I hope you understand the difference between, a little bit of the difference between lust and love in this video. If you'd like me to do more videos like this, because this is a hot topic and it doesn't just take one, I can go into so many other things in regards to this video and really get more clear on this. But it could be a really long-winded video and I don't want to do that for the sake of you viewers. But if you love this topic and you enjoy this video, please comment below and let me know, and I'll start doing some topics around this as well to help you better proportion your love life, better understand your love life and the relationships that you've encountered either currently or in the past. And as always, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I'll see you again in the next video. And remember, you are always loved. Bye for now.